Hi all, welcome back to my channel, Paul's Pop Culture with me, Paul. I thought tonight I'd go over just a few of my favourite horror, means it's kind of like the Halloween season. Films that I've been brought up with, tend to have watched them since I was in my early teens. And a lot of the stuff, I'm not going to go from like a 10 to 1, it's just because I can't decide. There's that many good ones that I've just picked a bunch of stuff that tends to get watched every year. Okay, and I've got my Halloween, my pumpkin T-shirt at the back there as well. So, starting with Ghostwatch from 1992. This brings back a lot of memories. Pipes the Ghost. So I'm not just doing it strictly films. Anything spooky related, like TV specials and things like that. Yeah, Ghostwatch with Sarah Green and the late Mike Reed. Yeah, I remember the night that they showed this. My mum and dad went out somewhere, and it gets to a really weird bit near the end. And I always remember that because I thought that it was real what was happening, and there was a power cut in the house just as things were getting really strange. I freaked out. I always remember that. All the lights went out. Nothing to do. It was just like it was just a real. I was young, and it was just a really frightening coincidence. So yeah, I definitely recommend Ghostwatch. Craig Charles is in this as well, from Red Dwarf. Okay, moving on. Some I'm not going to cover very much. If there's something special about it, I'll give much of a mention. Dog Soldiers, an obvious one. Brilliant film. This is a newer edition of the film that I recently picked up. Excellent quality, way superior than the previous UK release. Memories, I went to see it on the pictures when it came out with my mate. Absolutely loved it. Became a classic straight away. And a film I've always loved after. I remember my first copy was out when W.H. Smith's used to still sell films. So the first UK edition was still on VHS. I think there was a DVD. It was in the time when there was DVDs and VHS on the shelf as well. I'm not sure, I don't think they had the DVD one in. They had the VHS copy for a bit. So let's carry on. Another recommendation: Beast, anthology TV series. Isn't that she was in Birds of a Feather there? The best story on this is Baby. Absolutely love that story, and they find this mummified creature in the wall. They're having reservations. They're having the house fixed up, and they find this creature thing in the wall. It's just mummified, but it's got something to do with the witch, and there is a bit of a at the end when you see the witch in the rocking chair at the end, and it's a lot of less is more, but yeah, that scared me to death. First time I ever saw that. So it's definitely worth picking up for that story. Sadly, I will be honest, I don't think a lot of the other stories were that great. The one with is it Pauline Quirk in the supermarket? That's a pretty good one. But yeah, you can find it cheap enough. It's worth it for that story. One that I was quite surprised that I got off the car boot was 100 Feet with Famke Janssen from X-Men. This very much reminded me of a more modern day Entity. If this had been classed as an Entity remake, I think I probably would have accepted it. I wasn't sure what happened then. I thought we seemed to have gone light. I thought it cut out there for a minute. Anyway, I'll carry on. She's been in jail for murder, and she's on probation. She's got like a tag on her leg, and she's stopping in her house, and on probation. She's got this tag, and there is a ghost in there. I'm not going to spoil this too much, but yeah, there is a ghost in her house, and yeah, and it kicks the shit out of her. And there's parts when she goes down to the basement. I don't know if she's what I forgot now. What I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch it tonight, but forgot. It's like it does get a bit intense because she's trying to grab something, and she starts to go too far out of range. She's trying to avoid the beeper going off on her leg at the same time as fighting the spirit. It just get pretty intense, and I thought it was a pretty cool film. It does remind me a lot of The Entity, and I definitely recommend it. At least try it. Just even if you just watch it once. I mean, I think I got it for like 50p off the boot sale, something like that. If it wasn't that, it was a quid. It wasn't nothing too extravagant. But yeah, I'm not going to say much about this one, but there's just a few that recommend. Monster Squad, Wolfman's Got Nards, definitely. Graveyard Shift. Always love the bat in this. I'm not going to do that one yet. We've got some Without Warning. This is more of an alien type one, but it's still like horror. Alien frisbees and stuff. Really cool looking alien. So I definitely recommend that one. A documentary type one. I remember this was shown on ITV about 7 o'clock I remember in the 1990s. My dad recommended this. It was shown on ITV. It's called Ghosts on the Underground. It's a documentary about ghosts in London on the Underground, and it was narrated by Paul McGann. And I always remember it being quite long, probably because there was a lot of adverts at the time, but this has not got the adverts, so it's quite short without that. But yeah, it's a great documentary, and I was surprised actually that you could actually find a copy. Right, we've got some Vampire Circus. David Prowse is in this, from who played Darth Vader. Some good old-fashioned Hammer. Like creatures that turn from animal into like vampires. It's I always thought that this was a really cool. I think it's a 60s Hammer film. But yeah, definitely recommend. It's a heavy. It's a Qui-Gon. It's subtitled, but it's definitely a fantastic anthology if you like Japanese ghost stories. Qui-Gon. Probably one of my favourite anthology films of all time. Absolutely fantastic. Beautifully shot. Amazing film. Definitely recommend Qui-Gon. Quite a heavy box, that copy as well, if you're going to buy that one, because it's got a book in it. Okay, some stuff from when I was in my from when I lived at home. I used to watch a lot. Darkness Falls. I don't think this got very good ratings, but I always liked it. I always liked stereotypical witch-type creatures, cackling witch-type things. I'm always looking out for films like that, where you got, like a wicked witch-type creature. So yeah, I'm going to recommend it anyway. I always loved Darkness Falls. I wish it had got a sequel, but there you go. I think it was a flop. The grave dancers don't go dancing on people's graves because they'll come back and haunt you, and that's what happens in here. A group of people, they go and dance, they get a bit drunk, and they dance on some graves, and the spirit of each person's grave that they danced on comes back to haunt them. Yep, always love this film, Grave Dancers. Definitely recommend it. Some old-fashioned stuff now, like Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror. Yeah, stuff that if I was ill from school, and it sounds like a bit of a fever dream now, but I'm sure this stuff used to come on in the day. I don't know if I dreamt that, but I always remember being ill from school and some of these actually coming on in the daytime. Maybe I've got that wrong, so I ain't gonna say 100%, but that's how I seem to originally remember them from, how I discovered them. But anyway, yeah, two of my favourites. This is a Blu-ray double feature as well. Actually, I was talking to somebody the other week, and they said, actually, I didn't know that Blu-ray double feature actually existed. I said, yeah, it does. I got it. No, you can get them. You've been able to get them in the past on DVD, but yeah, it's a Blu-ray double feature one. Yep, Kid at the Window. Always scared the crap out of me. I recommend it. Salem's Lot, the 1970s version. Absolutely. House That Dripped Blood, another great anthology film about like a troubled house with different horror stories, with different residents over several periods of time that lived in the house. Things happen. Yeah, definitely a good one from Amicus, Hammer's old rival. Another documentary type one, Haunting in Connecticut and Haunting in Georgia. These are documentary style TV versions. Now, Haunting in Connecticut and Georgia were both turned into Hollywood style horror films, but I recommend the TV versions. So this was it was called A Haunting, and there was about 7 or 8 series of this originally. I think this was the pilot one. Used to be on the Discovery Channel. Am I done? Close near to the end. Yeah, always going to recommend Woman in Black TV version, 1989, every single year without doubt. Hard to beat, always one of my favourites of all time. Maybe I could have recommended it for Christmas as well, as it originally aired on Christmas. I couldn't find my Blu-ray version, but I just had to pick out my old DVD version. This was like a pirate copy that was pirated off the original VHS tape from W.H. Smith's. Now, this is quite old now because I was living at home when I had this copy, and it was a woman in Blackpool that had a VHS copy, and she copied it for me, and that's how I had this version. With this version, it's got trailers on it that you can't. There's a classic Sharp trailer on here with Sean Bean that you can't run forward. I could go on all night about the original Woman in Black. There's a Daniel Radcliffe version, but I still always say that this was the best one. And my last recommendation, after nearly 15 minutes, is Ghost Town. Probably just beating Woman in Black, probably because I've just got a lot of sentimental attachment to it. It was my dad's favourite horror film, and it's always been a big favourite of mine. I absolutely love this film, Ghost Town. Yeah, it's got two sides to this DVD. I think this is on. You can get this on Blu-ray as well. It's a Blu-ray edition. Um, I'm not sure. I think this was a child. His name was Charles Band. I think it's a Charles Band film. He also, I might be wrong, but he also did a film called Prison, and that's got. If I've got it wrong about the director, I've definitely got it right about the music. Some of that music was in this film as well, and some of this music from this film was in that film, so they shared the same soundtrack. So obviously, I'd say that they was made by the same person. I think it was Charles Band. So have a look for the director. There you go, Charles Band, and he did Prison as well. So there's like some music in it, and I spotted it in the other. It's like exactly the same. They used it in the other film. God knows how many other films they might have used it in as well. I think did that sound a bit Jason? Okay, that's my recommendations for over the. There's enough to keep you going there if you want to write some of those down for the over the Halloween period, and I'll leave it at that. Bye for now.